Welcome to Discover Art from the Allentown Art Museum. I'm your host and teacher, Miss Nicole. In Discover Art, we'll tour the museum learning amazing things about art and create a project inspired by what we learned. Today we're going to be taking a look into the past to learn about history. Over time, artwork can be damaged and get dirty. We're going to learn about how artwork is kept safe and how the stories told in artworks are protected over time. History is made every day, and it's important to protect our art now so we can tell those stories in the future. Now let's go discover art. This is Lehighton by artist Franz Kline. Lehighton is a town in Pennsylvania that has a really important history of coal mining. The artist created this painting to help people remember what the town was like when he created it. There are a lot of details that show how important coal was to the town, like the coal-powered train and the bridge over the river. The artist also included everyday scenes in the mural. Can you spot a kite? A horse? A flag? A plane? Or a train? A big part of why artists make artwork like this is to show a special place. If you lived in Lehighton, would this painting be special to you? This painting is 75 years old. Many of the things that we see in this painting are different today. When we look at this mural, it's like looking into a time machine into the past. With older artwork, something that can happen is that artwork becomes damaged over time. When this mural first came to the museum, it was very dark and covered in soot. It looks the way it does today because of art conservation. Conservation is how artworks are fixed and kept clean over time. It's important to protect art so we can still look at it hundreds of years from now. Next, we are going to take a look at another painting in our collection to see how it was conserved. Conservation is very important to keeping the stories of art alive. At the museum, we work with a big team of people. Curators do research and make it possible to share the meaning of art. Preparators collect and preserve artworks, build frames, and make displays. Rembrandt is a very famous artist that was well known for painting portraits. This painting was made in the year 1632, over 350 years ago. And over the years, this painting was damaged by dust, dirt, and light. Just like the Lehighton mural, this painting was restored. Up until recently, there was a clear layer of varnish on top of this painting. Varnish is like clear nail polish. It's sometimes used to make paintings look shiny and to protect them. Over the years, the resin became cloudy and made the painting dark and difficult to see. After taking off the varnish, we can see all of the beautiful details of the woman's face and clothing. Have you ever taken a photo to remember something? If someone saw your photo 300 years in the future, what would they see? Now that we've seen our artworks, we're going to do an activity that lets you experiment with conservation. Now we are going to create a project inspired by some of the techniques that we saw earlier today. We're going to create a landscape drawing of a special place inspired by the Lehighton mural. And then we're going to do a conservation experiment just like removing resin from a painting. Today we are going to be using pencil, paper, erasers, cling wrap, and crayons. Let me show you some examples of landscapes. When we talk about a landscape, one of the most important things on your landscape will be your horizon line. I'm going to take a marker and trace over the horizon line. So here's the horizon line on this one. You can see it's right across the middle. And that just separates the front of the artwork or the foreground from the background. And then over here, can you spot our landscape line? It's a little trickier. So our horizon line is going to fall right here. Here you can see in the front of the artwork, we have this fox and this great big piece of driftwood. This is the front of the artwork, or the foreground. And then behind our horizon line, we have the background. So in the background of this landscape, we've got mountains and the sun in the sky. And over here, we have a forest, a mountain, and the sky. So now that you've learned a little bit about landscapes, I want you to brainstorm a special place. Think of a place that's really important to you, or a place that you want to visit. You could even think of a place that you've never been to but you want to go. For me, my favorite place is the beach. So I'm going to start out by drawing my horizon line. I'm going to draw it up at the top here. Really light in pencil, because if I draw light, I can erase later. Now I'm going to draw the edge of my beach. So this is where the sand is going to meet the ocean here. Now I'll just add a few more little things going on my beach. I'm going to add a sandcastle because that's one of my favorite things to do at the beach. So here's my sandcastle. And then I'm going to add a little flag on top. And then another really awesome thing that I like to do at the beach is play games. So I'm going to draw a beach ball because I love to play with beach balls at the beach. And I love that beach balls are really bright and colorful, so I'm going to draw patches to make the rainbow on. And then I will add a beach umbrella. So here's the stick of the umbrella, and then the sail of my umbrella. And one last thing, I want to add a sun up top at the edge of my paper. So there's the sun in my sky. I'm going to add a couple little extra details around my sun, just so you see the rays and how the sun is going to be setting. I really love how beautiful the sky is when the sun sets on a beach. This is a place that I think about a lot, and it makes me very happy. So the next step for me is I'm going to outline. I can use my pencil to color very dark, or I can use a marker to make something that looks like this. So you can see here is a special place drawing that I've made, and I used a marker and I went back and I colored over all of my areas, and I erased any extra pencil marks or any marks that I don't want. Now I've done my outlining. It's time for me to move on to color. I love this beach ball because it's just like a color wheel. So here I have my finished and colored in special place drawing. You can see here I have all of the different things. I really took my time to color and make it pop. Now that I have this step done, we're going to do a little bit of a conservation experiment. When we saw the Rembrandt, something we talked about was peeling back those layers of varnish to see all the beautiful colors underneath. Now we're going to get a chance to experiment with that hands-on. For our experiment, we're going to use cling wrap. Now this is something that you can find in your kitchen. Another thing that you can do is use plastic bags. So if I cut this open, it would be the same thing. So here I have some cling wrap. And what I'm going to do is just take this and put it down on top of my art. So I put my cling wrap down on top of my art, and I'm just going to wrap it around like a present. So now that my cling wrap is on this drawing, it's going to protect my art from any damage. And my challenge to you, your bonus challenge of this week, is to put this in the dirtiest place you can find overnight to see what happens. Now I want to show you one that I put out overnight to keep it from getting damaged. So here you can see I left this out on my art desk, and I got all kinds of really gross things on it. I have some glitter here, I got paint, eraser, shavings, and I sharpened my pencil. So you can see just how you can protect your art from damage. Now this artwork doesn't look as bright and colorful as it looked before. Now I want to show you how you can really understand conservation by peeling back all of this cling wrap to see the art underneath. My colors look kind of dull, and there's lots of things distracting me in the way. But when I do this, I can really see how beautiful my drawing is. So by keeping this artwork and protecting it from damage, I'm keeping my special place. I can look back on this and see something that's important to me and keep my memories. That's part of why art museums are so important. We make it possible for people to look into the past and remember special places from years and years and years ago. Today we created a landscape drawing, and landscape drawings can help us to remember special places. The next time you see something interesting happen, think about how you'll remember it later. Remember to protect your work and keep discovering art.